Hi, welcome to the Warhammies. Today we're going to be covering why you should get back into Space Marine 2. If you enjoy the content, make sure to subscribe and give the video a thumbs up. So, if you've missed the news, Space Marine has just had Update 7 launch, which is the Trygon update. Coming with it, there's a new operations map, more weapons, and a bunch of changes to the game. If you're like me and haven't really played Space Marine 2 since launch, there's a lot changed here, which makes the game a lot better to play. In a quick summary of what we've got a new PVE operation mode called Exfiltration. I've given it a go, it is a bunch of fun. We've finally got prestige ranks in PVE, meaning you're not just capped to level 25 and you can work your way to more cosmetics, and some additional perks that are quite overpowered. We've got a new secondary weapon, which is the Inferno Pistol. Again, if you enjoy your melter shots, you can use it even more. In terms of, we've got some extra customization options, which allows you to edit your hand colours and change the bulwark cloth colouring. If you are an absolute fan of the Crimson Fist, the old 40k art style, then that is the main update you've probably been waiting for. In terms of new Season Pass content for Season Pass holders, we have the Space Wolves Chapter Pack and the Imperial Fist Champion Pack. For the Space Wolves Chapter Pack, the Space Wolves Chapter Champion is the Vanguard. You also get some chapter weapon skins for the Bolt Carbine, Thunder Hammer, and Chainsword, which is obviously a new addition to the class. With the Space Wolves chapter customization, you get some helmets, chests, pauldrons, greaves, and heraldry markings, very similar to any normal chapter pack. And then for the Imperial Fist Champion Pack, it's a skin for the tactical, and the signature weapon skin of the Plasma Incinerator. Just makes it bright yellow. In terms of the PvE extended list of weapons available, these options include the Heavy, finally getting the Heavy Bolt Rifle and a Heavy Bolt Pistol, so you can finally roleplay as a Heavy Intercessor. Tactical, getting the Combat Knife, Plasma Pistol, and Heavy Bolt Pistol, so if you want to really run double plasma, you can. Assault gets the Power Sword and Plasma Pistol, which again is pretty much denoting at the tabletop. And then Bulwark, you can get the Heavy Bolt Pistol. It's the only change he's getting. Sniper can get the Heavy Bolt Pistol and Instigator Bolt Carbine. I was surprised by the Heavy Bolt Pistol for the Sniper, in all honesty, because it's not something they run on the tabletop. However, the Instigator Bolt Carbine is, and I think it's a really handy, nifty weapon for the Sniper. It allows you to have a bit more run and gun style gameplay, while still being able to kind of utilise your cloak, especially if you want to focus in on melee damage. It's a really good secondary to run. Then we've got the Vanguard, which has the Heavy Bolt Pistol and the Bolt Carbine. The Vanguard is going to see some interesting changes, because I remember the SMG on Sniper, when it came out, it was a bit of an odd weapon to use, and I remember sitting there thinking, why has the Sniper got this, and why has the Vanguard not got it? So that's a nice change to see. In terms of the extra secondary weapon, they have added the Inferno Pistol. It's available for Sniper, Heavy, Assault, and Vanguard classes. It is good if you like the mini melter, especially something like Sniper, which might struggle to deal with hordes if you spec into melee damage of like single target damage. The melter pistol is really fantastic, just getting rid of that chaff that gets in the way. So what I would say is, in terms of the weapon updates, each weapon has had a drastic change in terms of its perks. They've been reworked, and if you read the patch notes, I think this video will be about 20 minutes long of me reading each individual weapon. There is a shed load of changes. I think most weapons have got about 5-6 perk changes. So my recommendation is hop back into your perk trees before you load into anything and just reset your perks and go through the tree again. Some of them have changed, some of them haven't, but certain percentages and stats, they might have just switched to around, so suddenly, when you think you had something, you might not anymore. In the game as well, we've got prestige levels. I'm going to show you right now. Essentially, when you prestige, it costs 100 little credits to spend, and you get a 10% boost to XP. Essentially, that stacks with each one to make it easier to get back. When you level up, you'll get prestige perks. You can have a total of 4 prestige perks slotted at once, but you need to prestige to that rank to get it. Going through prestige, you purchase, and essentially, you can choose one of the prestige perks for slot 1. Important point to note is, once you prestige and choose your perk, you cannot change it until you reach the maximum level of prestige. If you haven't played the game since the start like I have, there's been a lot of changes of quality of life that have come to the game. More specifically, especially around the combat and certain weapons, I think block weapons can now build up a certain charge on a certain amount of blocks to then knock enemies back. In addition to some of the weapon buffs, I know that all of the bolt weapons have received, I think, a flat out 5% damage buff, so if you haven't tried them out, use them. They're a bunch of fun. If you haven't played Space Marine 2 since launch like myself, I would strongly recommend getting back into it. All of the quality of life and content updates the game has had has made the game 10 times better. In the grand scheme of things, even if you don't enjoy the combat, the emote wheel is a bunch of fun. I'll catch you in the next one.